Hello and welcome to Age of Empires HD Online Diplomacy, Western European Diplomacy game. Anyway, let me introduce you to the other players in this game. So you have Green over here, he was playing as the Persians. You got Purple up here, playing as the Byzantines, probably pronounced that completely wrong. You got Teal in France, playing as the Huns. You got Blue in Spain, playing as the Spanish. You got Orange playing as the Mayans, he literally had the whole of Africa to himself. You had Red playing as the Koreans in Turkey. Grey in European Turkey, he was playing as the Burmese, I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong. And then you had myself, I was playing as the Aztecs. So at this point I was a little bit concerned about Green, because as you can see he did build the wall there, but I also know, and then he was building a wall here, so he really was blocking me out. And I also noticed he wasn't building a wall between him and Purple, so I was kind of like thinking either he doesn't trust me or he's planning to attack me, so I was a little bit concerned about Green. But then I noticed Green was walling Purple up as well, so yeah, I think Green was just declaring this his land. But for my side, I mean, as I say, I was a bit concerned about Green, but then I noticed Grey had moved more or less into my base. You know, rightly so. You know, he needed some more space, and he was building castles, so I was kind of preparing to fight Grey potentially. And then I noticed Teal was building a whole load of horses and castles. I mean, again, that might be for Green, but then I was like, this would be really unfortunate for me if I end up being 2v1 by Grey and Teal. And as time, started to pass, I was becoming less and less concerned about Green and more concerned about Teal and Grey. So while I was on my way up to the Imperial Age, everyone was still allies. There was obviously growing tension. Everyone was probably just waiting for, the first person to roll the dice to turn on someone. So yes, I was trying to build some pikemen. I was kind of warning Teal's massive horsemen that don't mess with me, because I've got some pikemen. Oh, and then Orange was declaring war with Green, what was really unexpected, because they're literally at the other side of the map to each other. But then Teal turned on Green as well, so yeah, things were really starting to get exciting. Orange was now building some siege workshops in Turkey, in Red's base basically. And Red was also building some gates, so yeah, war was definitely about to begin. Well, it already began obviously up here. And luckily for Green though, Purple joined in, and Purple actually sided with Green, more or less because they were trade buddies, so at least Green did have someone on his side. It wasn't going to be the whole world against Green. For me though, everything was still really peaceful. No one had really spoken to me at this point. I was basically just trying to get myself some resources, seeing the fights happen around me, but yeah, they're getting housed, basically. Now, as you can see, Orange had some siege, he had some archers, but he did have to go for Grey's base, and I have no idea what Alliance Grey was actually at this point. I think Grey, we're switching to Grey's point of view now. Grey was actually now enemies with Orange. I don't know if Orange declared a war with Grey. I don't know if he asked Grey to join his alliance and Grey refused. So yeah, so for Orange to get to Green, he first had to take out poor Grey. But yeah, anyway, with the help of Purple and Green were actually pushing Teal back. Meantime, Orange was completely taking out Grey, even though Grey had some ships. Orange had really strong siege. And then Green messaged me. He was like, "Yellow bro, I'm private." So basically speak to him privately, and I was like, yes. And then he was like, "Let's screw with this red and orange guy, bro." So I was like, okay, fair enough. I suppose I should probably do something in this game. So I decided to basically turn on orange and red at some point. I think at this point I needed to build an army, because I hadn't really had all I had was really pikemen. So I was building an army, and then I was going to turn on orange and red. Because basically, Green messaged me and Orange and Red didn't. If Orange and Red messaged me, then I would have turned on Green, but yeah. So Teal's base was more or less wiped out. Teal had moved down to Africa. Obviously Orange let him, so yeah, it was becoming more and more like Teal, Orange and Red were a team, and myself, Green, Purple and Grey were a team. Blue, in the meantime, he was kind of just doing his own thing. Green was messaging him, but Blue was kind of like saying, yeah, I might do. I think Blue was just waiting to see which team would come up victorious and then join whatever team that was. And there we go. I turned on Orange. So I turned enemy on Orange. I had some trebuchets, and I was taking out Orange's castle. You know, it was turning into a really epic diplomacy game. And the only person who was not in this war was Blue. Green kept begging though Blue. He was like, Blue, play with us. There was also a navy fight that Red was clearly winning. God, that was a really bad place for me to put my trebuchets. God. And then here was Red. Red came. At one point we were looking like we were finally breaking into Orange, but then Red came with hold of his elite war wagons. Green then kept saying to Blue, Blue, please attack Red. Please. Well, there goes all my food. Meantime, while I was losing my fishermen, Teal actually lost his second base to Purple and Green. So yeah, Teal was not having a good time. And then Blue turned on Green. As I say, not massively surprising. And then Green disconnected. And at this point I was like, oh god. This is not looking good now. Our strongest player in our team's now disconnected. And not long later, Grey disconnected too, so at this point it was basically me and Purple against the world. But then massively shocking, Orange turned on Red. What was really unexpected. I don't think anyone was expecting that. And as you can see, Red was pretty screwed because Orange had built castles all over his base, basically on top of him. And yeah, that completely changed the game. Purple noticed it as well. He was like, they're fighting each other. We might still have a chance here. And Red was like really upset. He was like, ah, you piece of crap, Orange. You cheating bastard. I mean, as I say, it is diplomacy and you can't trust anyone. But yeah, what Orange did was a bit of a dickish move, but hey, it's diplomacy. And I turned allies on Red because I did really feel for Red. And I think Orange also turned on Blue as well, so I think Orange just turned on everyone, to be fair. So while the whole world was against Orange, I turned my focus on Blue. But because I turned on Blue, Teal turned on me. But the reason I turned on Blue was because I didn't particularly like the way Blue treated Green, really. So at this point the alliances were, everyone was against Orange. Blue and Teal were more or less a team. They were against myself. Purple was against Teal, but was allies with Blue. And Red was, I think Red was still enemies with Purple, but was allies with everyone else, bar Purple and Orange. In fact, yeah, Red and Purple are now allies, so... but yeah, there wasn't really that many wars happening at this point. I mean, you kind of just had Orange defending from Red, and then you kind of had me, who obviously lost a lot of siege up here. But I think it's fair to say that Blue and Teal were more focused on Orange than they were to me. I think they definitely saw Orange as a bigger threat. And Blue was like, Yellow, stop! I don't have time for you. And Orange was still boasting, saying noobs. So Orange now called it GG. Two of them resigned because Blue turned on him, I guess. So now that Orange was out of the way, Blue could now fully focus on attacking me. And Blue was probably on the process of actually wiping me out, but then suddenly Purple turned on Blue. So poor Blue found himself like on a 2v1. Blue was like, so you want to finish me? And I was like, I'm happy with allied victory. I mean, I haven't really got that much against you today. And they only attacked you because you attacked Green. So this is the point when I turned ally on Blue and Blue turned ally on me. We were just saying it's getting late. It was like past midnight for myself. So I was like on the chat, I said, well, I'm going to get something to eat. Feel free to turn on me if you want. I'll be back in about 20 minutes. Because, you know, I wasn't fighting anyone. And I've already got allied victory on, so... yeah, I left it up to Purple and Blue. Then Purple turned on me while I was downstairs. And there we go. So we did allied victory. And I came back and I was like, where's all my base gone? But yeah, if Purple was ever going to take out Blue, it was going to take absolutely forever. I mean, look at his base. So there you go. I lost so many units, mostly siege really. But yeah, that was a really good diplomacy game, full of betrayals, as every good diplomacy game should have. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to see more Age of Empires videos. Let me know if there's ways for me to do it differently, if you want me to do it differently, and yeah, big thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.